That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Everything at Random, where we dive deep into tangled webs of thoughts, emotions, and everything in between. I'm your host, Jonathan, JR, whatever you fucking call me. But today we're talking about the struggle that we're all too familiar, the battle between the heart and the mind. It's the constant internal tug of war where what we feel doesn't always line up with what we think. And you all fucking been there. But here's the thing. There's a beauty in leading in with your heart. It's raw, it's real, and it's driven by passion. But it's also risky. There has been times in my life when following with my heart has led me to incredible highs, moments of pure joy, and connections that I would never trade for anything. But there have also been lows, times when I've had to pick up the pieces after things didn't turn out the way I hoped. You know what I mean? Like, look at where I'm at right now. And I'm not picking up pieces, but I've always been someone who leads with my heart. And if you listen to the podcast, you know I fucking lead with my heart. I've taken leaps of faith, chased after what I wanted, and often ignored the warning signs my mind was throwing at me. There's this belief I've held onto. What if I don't try? What if this is the chance that could change everything? That mindset that has led me down incredible paths, but it also landed me in some tough spots. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always living in that what if, or what if I try a little bit harder, or this might be my last chance and everything. I'm always in that fucking mindset. You know, like, take a relationship. For example, a relationship I was in, this was years ago. I was in a 10-year relationship where from the beginning my heart was all in. I fell for the girl. Everything was like great. But I was convinced she was the one. I poured everything I had into making it work, but deep down inside, my mind kept on telling me something was off. I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? Like, your heart blinds you from everything. The red flags were there, but I didn't want to see them. My heart was wrapped up in the idea of us pushing aside the doubts and the concerns and the gut feelings that told me things weren't right. Like, I'm telling you, like, we were fighting and we didn't really connect with each other. At some point in the relationship, I think it was over way before I said anything. You know, as the years went by, my internal struggle only grew stronger. My heart kept on fighting for the relationship, clinging on to the good times, the memories that we'd built together. But my mind, it knew it. It knew better. It saw the cracks, the flaws, the things that weren't going to change. And finally, after a decade, and that's right, that sounds like saying 10 years is one thing, but when you say a fucking decade of trying to make it work, I made the toughest decision of my life. I led with my mind and walked away. It was the most adult thing I've ever done. And if you listen to my previous podcast or the other ones I was on, I talked about that. It taught me so much about importance of listening of both my heart and my head. You know, it made me realize, like, sometimes you have to weigh out both options. Shit, and that wasn't the only time like things were like that. You know what I mean? Like, in, let's say, also in my career, there was a career path that there was an incredible opportunity I had, and with a company that I believe that believed in me more than I believed in myself. I went in as a regular sales position. My boy set me up, and if you listen to my previous stuff, like, I talked about it. Like, they saw something in me that I never even fucking recognized. You know what I mean? They offered me the role of an international sales lead, and this was going to be a brand new role that they're introducing, connecting with Asia and Europe departments. This was the kind of position I could change everything in my life. Traveling, more money than I knew what to do with. The chance to really make an impact. My heart was screaming, you deserve this. Take it. But my mind wasn't sure. Motherfuckers I told them, this is how much I'm making over here. I threw out a crazy fucking number. And they fucking gave me more. You know what I mean? But my mind kept on reminding me that this is uncharted territory. It was a role that hasn't been done and that I never done before. And I was already comfortable at my current job, somewhat. Why make waves? Why risk everything for something new? So uncertain. The insecurities crept in. The what if I wasn't good enough? What if I failed despite my heart telling me I was ready? Despite my heart said that you deserved it and this is your chance. I let my mind take the lead this time. And in doing so, I missed out on what could have been a life-changing opportunity. And yeah, it sounds fucked up, but like it's a growing and learning process that I had to do with this. You know what I mean? Nobody gave me like the perfect plan of like where to lead with or how to do things. I'm learning this all on my own. But what happens when your heart and mind are at odds, and the stakes are high, and it's one thing to make a decision on the whim when the consequences are minor. But what about when they're life changing? Like that's when you got to really take into everything to consideration. You start thinking with your mind a lot more. It's in those moments that the real struggle becomes real. Do you listen to your head, logic, the one that's analyzed every detail, weighing out every risk? Or do you follow with your heart, the one pushing towards what you truly desire, even if it defies logic? Sometimes like you lead with your heart and you're like, fuck, man, this feels so good, feels so right, feels so natural. And like I look back on both of these experiences and it taught me something crucial. That here's what I learned. The heart and the mind aren't enemies. They are two sides of the same coin, both trying to guide you towards the best possible outcome. It was trying to guide me on the best possible outcome. There's always going to be a struggle between what you feel and what you think. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about finding that balance. It's about learning to trust yourself enough to know when to lead with your heart and when to let your mind take the reins. You know what I mean? In relationships, in careers, in any choice in life, it's all about knowing yourself, understanding what you truly want, and having the courage to make the tough calls, even when it's not easy. You have to be honest with yourself about the risk and the rewards and making decisions that both your emotions and your intellect had to come in play. Like, can I do this? Is this really what I want to do? And I'm not giving you a guideline of how to do things. I'm just letting you know, like, I tend to lead with my heart. And now I'm learning to like trying to weigh out things and think about things fully. You think sometimes, and people know me, like you would think I have everything planned out. I don't. I don't plan out half of the shit that was going on in my life. The jobs, the people I came across, the experiences I've had. Like I didn't plan out any of this shit. The trip that I went on wasn't even fucking planned out. I just said I gotta go. I needed to go. I should have fucking planned it out. I would have got the most out of the experience, but I got the most out of my experience. You know what I mean? I woke up every day and said, this is what I'm going to do. And this is what I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like try to do or whatever, or try to experience. I wasn't the type of person who had an itinerary. You just led with my heart, whatever I felt like doing that day. You know? And I know it's like, how can I just take all this information and just make a decisive decision? That sounds weird. Decisive decision on what the fuck I want to do and where I want to go, or how do I make a choice between these things? Where does that leave us? For me, it's about embracing the struggle, about understanding that every decision is an opportunity to learn and grow. It's about listening to both my heart and my mind and finding a way to honor both of them. It's about trusting myself to make the right call even when it's difficult and having the courage to course correct when I realize I've made a mistake. Because at the end of the day, leading with your heart isn't about that's authentic and meaningful, even if it means taking the road less traveled. And I know you're like, oh man, that sounds easy. This sounds like that, but bro, it's not. Me talking about it, it makes me understand it a lot more. And I'm hoping me sharing these things and talking about these things, you put it into perspective when you make choices in your life, you know, because it, some of these choices that we make define us or who we become or what we do with our lives for the rest of our lives. Let it be with that woman that you want to be with, that man you want to be with, whoever it is. Making that choice to be with that person. Sometimes you have to listen to your mind. I'm like, is this the right move for me? And it sucks to be logical in a relationship. I should have been logical in that relationship. I would have ended it a lot sooner and caused us a lot less pain. If I was as knowledgeable as I am now, I would have made the logical steps to do the right things at the appropriate time before we invested so much into each other. You know what I mean? But I don't regret it. I don't regret it because I learned and I grown for that. And for the career path, I should have led with my heart with that one, which I normally do, but I didn't. I should have listed off everything in like that I've been wanting. I wanted something to challenge me. I wanted something better. I wanted more. I wanted to feel important. But I was telling myself in my mind that you're not ready for this. Even though I was telling myself you deserve this. It's not that you're not ready, it's you deserve it. Like something put this in your path and it's there for you. You know? And it's never gonna be easy. And I don't want you to look back and like, damn, I could have done this differently if I would have listened to my mind or I listened to my heart. It's not about regretting it, it's about growing from it. Sometimes you have to like refocus on what you need to do. When I said course correct, sometimes like I wanted to get into law enforcement. Here I am doing these things and like course correct. It's not what I want to do. I want to help out people. I want to make a difference. That's okay. I'm here. I gave it a try. I did it. Now I'm trying to do something different. Or maybe I'm just in the wrong place. I don't know. But that's okay to course correct. It's okay to change. You're listening to both your mind and your heart. You know what I mean? You're dealing with both. You just have to lay out your options. And I'm laying out mines. So, what else can I say? Thank you for joining my introspective journey. Um, if this episode resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. And if you don't, fuck off. Thank you for fucking listening. You know what I mean? We're always going to dig deeper into those complexities of life, love, and everything at random. And maybe I talked about things like this before, but maybe I wasn't as clear as I was that I am now. Like mentally and physically, I feel great. Everything else like could be like shit, but I feel good. I feel good. And like I said, if you listened before, I wasn't in this perfect place. So I'm giving you the advice from a clear-minded person. Clear-minded and not a heavy heart. I'm good. So If any of this, like I said, resonate with you, share with me. You know, I love hearing from on Instagram or just a text message because you know me or whatever it is, because I'm always free and accessible to everybody. So I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And like I said, if you didn't like it, fuck off. It's always hard trying to get my thing to shut down, but later.